So you are ready to actually purchase your first property. However, you're not really sure how you should actually purchase your property. Should it be under a trust? Should it be under business? Or should it be under personal capacity?
As a beginner, the last thing on your mind is the different types of ownership. The first thing on your mind is getting that property, getting the rental, and being financially free. So let us backtrack and see what do the different types of ownership mean for me.
I mean, I'm really excited about this because we had an intensive talk with Ms. Pet about this at our event. So now let's start speaking about the pros and cons so that you are able to make a decision based on should you actually do this personal, trust, or business. So firstly, let's speak about the personal, right? So with personal, it's easy for most people to actually purchase their property under personal. So as long as they have a 3 months bank statement and a pay slip. So when you do actually go purchase a property for property investing purposes, when you do actually apply for a home loan, it becomes easy for the bank to say that no, this person is the right person to actually purchase this property. However, if your credit is not in good standing, then it becomes really tough for you to actually apply for this home loan. Yes, so now let's look at the cons of actually owning it under your personal, right?
Yeah.
So owning under a personal might be a bit of a problem, especially when you're going deeper into marriage counseling and also protecting your assets, right? So you do have this property, however, something does happen to you, say for instance, God forbid, I mean, it might happen at some time that you do pass on, right? How are you, or how is the property going to be transferred from your name to the person that you said should own this property? I mean, picture this, right? You have 10 properties that you've actually bought in your portfolio. How then you do actually pass on. This means that the person that's actually going to be left behind needs to pay transfer fees on all 10 properties that you actually have. So this might be a bit of a problem for the person that's actually going to inherit these particular properties. Or if it does happen that you and your significant other do actually separate, this means that everything is going to be halved, right? Especially if you actually married under community of property.
I mean, so this goes back to owning a trust. So if you open a trust and then you put all your assets under this trust, so what that does is that you're able to actually choose beneficiaries. And in that manner, it's actually easier to transfer the properties and all your assets to the next person without any hassles.
So now, no, you actually touched a bit on trust, right?
Yeah.
So let's go directly into trust. So what is the pros of actually owning the property under a trust?
I mean, the trust, that's what I just mentioned right now, is when you're moving ownership from one to another, you know that there's no hassle. And however, now, if we're looking at it from an accounting side, it's quite intense when it comes to taxation. So what we are saying is that you need to look at the pros and cons of all of them, because there is no one shoe fits all. Sometimes you might take a trust understanding that the tax implications are quite heavy. However, now when you know that it's under your personal capacity and you're not making business out of it, you know that you're not going to be taxed on it because there's no income coming to you, because the property is the house that we are living in.
I mean, with the right power team, you can actually get away with the whole tax, 45% tax that you are actually obligated to actually pay via a trust, right? But now make sure that you have a real strong power team from the accounting perspective and also from the legal perspective.
I'd like to emphasize something. It's a conversation that we had with Thabo. It's not necessarily getting away with it. However, minimizing it in a legal route, because the last thing you want is your accountant filing in that 0000. You're not making any money from it, only to find out that money is coming through, and then when the SARS or tax people are coming for you, they will see that you have been reporting zero. However, there has been money coming to you.
Most definitely. So now the last one that we're actually going to be speaking about is the business, right? So the business one is really in between. So here's the thing about a business. When you do sometimes go to a bank, you might be advised to open up a business account. However, even though it is a business account, it's registered as a sole trader. Sole trader is one of the worst. It's similar to actually owning the property under your personal capacity. What you want to actually own, or how you actually want to register your business, is that you want to register it as a PTY Ltd, which is a private limited company, right? So what this actually does is that it separates you from the business. So the business will pay tax by itself, and you will also pay tax by yourself. Under asset protection, all the assets that fall under the business are the businesses, and all the assets that fall under your personal capacity are your personal capacity. So now if someone is actually trying to go after you under your personal capacity, they can't actually touch your assets. So now this is something that you really need to consider. Looking at it from a business perspective, you might actually be paying tax. However, it might need to actually go back to your accountant for them to actually balance everything so that you pay as minimum as possible.
So what I like about registering your company, registering your property under your business, it's going to be slightly different from a personal capacity, because what happens on a personal capacity is that I'll be taxed based on the capital gains that I'll be getting or the rental that I'll be getting on top of how much am I earning at work. Whereas if it's under the business will be viewed in terms of income versus expenses, then I'll be taxed on that. So I really like that structure. However, as we did mention, that the trick here is that to start, it's quite hard to start it as a business. So now, if you are starting it under your own capacity, you need to sit down with your accountant and plan in terms of how are you ultimately going to push everything under your business.
I mean, at the end of the day, the choice is yours. So make a choice. Are you going to be purchasing under your personal, or are you going to be purchasing under a trust, or are you going to be purchasing under a business? And please do make sure that you consult with an attorney and accountant before you actually make this choice.
I mean, the 5th of March was epic. So what we do is that we host property workshops across South Africa, and we make sure that the content is different each and every time. So what I'm saying is that you can come through to every event that we're hosting, because we call our experts. They do showcase what they do and also speak about the services that they provide. Speaking about the services that experts are providing, we are opening our doors to you, that if you want to send us an email so that we can discuss whatever that's happening in your life in terms of property investing, do not be shy to actually hit the Calendly link below and let us set a meeting right now.
We will be announcing that when is our next event. So make sure that you do follow us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, LinkedIn. Man, we are almost everywhere. So make sure that you do follow us, and then we will actually release the dates.
Trust me when I say you do not want to miss out on this. I remember in the previous one, we had somebody coming through all the way from Rustenburg to Glenvesta. So I'd like to ask you, what is your excuse for getting quality information and networking with experts? Invest like a pro with no wealth.
It is about asset protection, where you know that there is no way, if you are trading in a personal capacity, if you are trading in a company, that the trust can be exposed.
Go into that. What's below market value? To me, below market value is the seller saying to me, Yondi, I want to be out of this deal, I just want to break even. 15 years ago, I bought this property for 900,000, and that's all I want. It's my 900.
I hope everybody did enjoy